If you don't know, you're about to know right now. You're about to learn. Education. You feel me them? It's Big Bey Quin, formerly known as Quindell Evans. And I'm here to chat about the connection between spirituality and prosperity. Spirituality and money, spirituality and abundance, spirituality and wealth. I notice when I look at a lot of conscious pages and woke people chatting about money and stuff like that, open-minded folks, that they kind of speak about money as if it has no purpose, as if everything is free in the world. The earth offers all the natural resources, so money is really fake and unneeded and not cool. But in all actuality, that's not necessarily accurate. That's not accurate, because money is spiritual. Money has purpose, and that's what we're going to talk about. When it comes to money, right? You could have money. You could have resources or material things, and you're not spiritually grounded. You're not happy. You're not mentally, emotionally balanced, right? You're not aligned. And you can have money, you can have these things, but you can be spiritually grounded. And that's the dichotomy. That's the polarity. It's like you want to have both. You can't have one without the other. You can have one without the other, but it comes with certain conditions, certain terms and conditions that may not be healthy or manageable long term. And the truth is, currency and money exist on all planes. You got to pay for things on every plane. So even in the spiritual realm, this is why we burn ancestor money and pour libations, and do ritual, right? Do ritual or spiritual work for the ancestors who need currency in whatever plane that they exist in. So ain't nothing free on no plane. On no plane ain't nothing free. You gotta pay with something. You know, energy and currency requires some type of work to be done. On this plane that we're on this physical plane, you want to do physical work. If you exist in the spiritual plane, you might do mental work or energy work or spiritual work. Either way, you're doing work to get to where you need to go. It might not look the same, but you're gonna work. You know, so you don't just because you start practicing spirituality or becoming more conscious or becoming more spiritual, becoming more free, becoming more woke, whatever term you want to use, esoteric, metaphysical, whatever. Because you start practicing these things, it doesn't change the plane that we're on. It doesn't change the dimension that you exist in. You might change dimensionally. You might change personally. But the dimension is the dimension. It has its own level or phase or cycle of growth that it is changing, that it is evolving through. You definitely affect it over time, but you're not changing it. Right? You're not stopping it from being. You're not stopping this from being a physical world. You're not stopping the physical world from being a physical world because you realize that there are spiritual aspects to it. You feel me? There are spiritual aspects to this world and also physical aspects to this world. So you have access to currency and money and wealth, prosperity and abundance in spiritual ways. You also have the same access to those things in physical ways. So what I mean is, once you realize that, this is a spiritual experience, right? Encased inside of certain physical limitations. That's cool. But the thing is like, you could access wealth, prosperity, and money and abundance in physical ways. Like, you could do hard work for it. You could do hard physical labor. But you could also access those things in spiritual ways, right? But it doesn't like, it's not like a one or other thing. It's like, it's a dichotomy. It's a, both things work together. High key. So like, there's no point. I mean, there is a point if you want to make it a point. But for me, there's no point in me acting like money has no purpose. The earth gives us water. The earth gives us food. Why do we have to work for it? Either way, you're going to work for it. Either way, like, just because we got a system that controls how we work for it, doesn't mean if we didn't have the system that you still wasn't going to work for it. You was going to work for it either way. Either way, you working. So you might be working more closely with nature, but you're still working. So yeah, the earth provides you with water and fruit and food and whatever animals that it needs you to live with and live from and live through and live off of. But you still will have to put in work. You know, you still will have to tend to your soil. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had a farm or land that you was growing fruits and vegetables and stuff off of, or if you had your own animals that you were cultivating in order to, you know, domesticate and eat. Either way, you was gonna have to tend to those animals. You was gonna have to tend to that land. You was gonna have to tend to that soil. That's work. That might be closely connected, more closely connected with nature, maybe, right? But it's still work. It's still not free, technically. It's provided, it's given, it's access, but it's still not free. So I think a lot of times people like a lot of times people are expressing their grievances with the system to the point where they overlook how the system is still a microcosm of the macrocosm of nature, of law, of spirituality anyway. Like, everything on this plane, like on every plane, exists the same things from different angles. Literally. On every plane. So even on a systematic plane, right, this system that makes you work 9 to 5 or start a LLC or corporation or business, even a system that vamps from your work, your dedication, your business, your labor, it imitates or replicates or is a reflection of the natural system of the way things flows anyway. So it's okay to have grievances with the system and how it is ran, but there's still purpose in this system. There's still purpose in every system. There's still purpose in how things are ran. And a lot of times people are pointing out the purposelessness of things. And I've been there. So I'm speaking from experience where, and I think there's phases where you realize that everything has purpose. You know, there's phases to that realization. There's phases you might have to experience or perceive or, live through before you get to that realization. Even when it comes to like relationships and people and emotions and pain, pleasure, right? There's purpose to all of those experiences. You know, there's purpose to painful experiences, negative experiences, bad experiences, getting hurt, and receiving pleasure and happy experiences and joyful experiences and getting what you want. There's purpose in everything. And I'm not sure if everybody reached that realization where they realize the purpose in literally everything. Like this, you know, there's no point of really complaining about something. It's healthy forms of complaining, but in the purposelessness thing, like, so, like, you know, complaining about something not being purposeful, like, there's no point in that. So for me, there might not be a point in doing something, but I can also see the purpose in doing something that I don't feel like has no relevance. So it's all good. But anyways, I realized that, like, the more spiritually grounded I got, the more work I started to do spiritually and sexually, the more prosperity and money and abundance and stuff like that became I guess I want to say easier or more everlasting, more long lasting, more manageable for me personally. Like, at the beginning, like, okay, I got this. Like, I began to manage, like, in simple terms, like, I began to manage my money better. I began to manage my money better when I started to become more spiritually grounded. And I think there are lots of people who could say that. I just think that, like, when I began to become more spiritually grounded, more spiritually powerful, more spiritually enlightened, whatever term we want to use, more conscious, become more knowledgeable of myself, begin to get money faster, easier, better, it lasts longer. So with that being said, I reached my destination, so I'm gonna get out this car and stop chatting. But that's all I really wanted to say. Like, prosperity is literally a spiritual thing. Money is literally a spiritual thing. Currency exists on all levels. So don't knock it. You feel me?